Welcome to Chasing Curiosity TV. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. Tonight, the drums of conflict are beating louder across the South China Sea. Tensions are reaching a fever pitch as China's military shadow looms over Taiwan, and its Coast Guard harasses Philippine ships in disputed waters. This two-front pressure campaign from Beijing has sent shockwaves through the region, forcing nations to reevaluate their defense postures and alliances. The world watches as the Indo-Pacific's balance of power teeters on a knife's edge. China views Taiwan as a renegade province, to be unified by force if necessary, while its actions against the Philippines assert its sweeping nine-line claim, rejected by international law. These moves are part of a calculated strategy to establish dominance and push back against U.S. influence. In response, the U.S.-Philippines alliance is being reinvigorated, focusing on deterrence and tangible military preparations. Military capabilities are being strengthened, assets repositioned, and interoperability enhanced. The once quiet Western Pacific is now the stage for a high-stakes geopolitical drama. Nations are being forced to clarify their positions as economic lifelines. Vital global trade routes are put at risk. A conflict here would have catastrophic consequences for the world economy, disrupting supply chains and markets. That's why this remote region is now a top global story, a flashpoint that could define security for decades. The question is no longer if a crisis will erupt, but when and where. At the heart of this tension lies the Batanes Islands, a small archipelago at the Philippines' northernmost tip. Known for its serene landscape, Batanes is now a critical piece of the geopolitical chessboard. Its proximity, less than 125 miles from Taiwan, makes it a potential game-changer in any conflict. Batanes could serve as a forward base, surveillance outpost, or logistical hub, its location making it a natural fortress. The islands guard the Luzon Strait, a vital maritime choke point connecting the Pacific and South China Sea. For China, access through the strait is essential for projecting power. For the US and allies, monitoring it is key to containing China. Batanes is no longer just a remote province. It's a frontline state in the competition between major powers. Its ports and airfields, once for local use, are now assets of immense military value. The fate of Batanes is now tied to the security of the entire Indo-Pacific. What happens here will have global repercussions. Defense ministries worldwide are watching closely. The Philippines and the United States are rapidly militarizing Batanes. The islands are buzzing with construction and military activity. Permanent troop deployments, new bases, and upgraded facilities signal a long-term commitment to defense. Expanded ports now accommodate larger warships, enabling resupply and repairs for both Philippine and U.S. navies. Airports are being upgraded for military transport and fighter jets, allowing rapid deployment in a crisis. Warehouses and fuel depots are being built to pre-position supplies and support sustained operations. This logistical network is crucial for readiness and deterrence. More soldiers, sailors, and specialized units are stationed on the islands, including U.S. Navy Seabees overseeing infrastructure and training. The increased military footprint serves as a visible deterrent and ensures troops are familiar with the terrain. These preparations turn Batanes from a vulnerable outpost into a hardened bastion. The transformation is both strategic and symbolic. The message: Batanes will not be left undefended. The stakes have never been higher. The upgrades in Batanes are framed as both defense and disaster relief. Located in the Typhoon Belt, the new infrastructure, stronger ports, all-weather airfields, pre-positioned supplies, will improve disaster response. Military presence brings medical teams, engineering, and logistics that benefit the local community. But the primary driver is defense. Dual-use facilities can serve both humanitarian and military needs. Ports for aid can receive warships. Airfields for relief can land fighter jets. This dual-use approach allows the U.S. and Philippines to build up military posture under the cover of humanitarian assistance. Under the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, EDCA, the U.S. can pre-position equipment and conduct joint training at new Batanes sites. The strategy: prepare for conflict while delivering peacetime benefits. It's a delicate balancing act, bolstering security without appearing overly aggressive. The local population gains, but the region's defense is the real focus. Batanes is now a linchpin in both national security and disaster response. Batanes is now a key training ground for U.S.-Philippine military exercises. Drills like Balikatan focus on defending the northern islands, involving thousands of troops in amphibious, coastal, and aerial combat scenarios. The goal: seamless interoperability between Filipino and American forces. Advanced U.S. hardware is deployed. Patriot missile systems, HIMARS rocket launchers, and long-range radars. These systems provide powerful deterrence, capable of striking maritime targets and defending against air attacks. Surveillance is enhanced with shared intelligence, radar, and drones patrolling the Luzon Strait. Persistent monitoring offers early warning and tracks any unusual activity. The introduction of these technologies modernizes the Philippine military and sends a clear message to China. Any attempt to control the Luzon Strait or attack Taiwan will meet a swift, technologically advanced response. The alliance is sharpening its spear. The Luzon Strait, overlooked by Batanes, is a critical artery for global commerce and military power. The Bashi Channel, between Batanes and Taiwan, is the main route for ships from Northeast Asia to the world. Disruption here, by conflict or blockade, would have immediate severe consequences for the global economy. From a military perspective, the strait is even more vital for China. China's navy must pass through the Luzon Strait to reach the Pacific, but is hemmed in by the first island chain. Control of the strait is a central objective for both Chinese and U.S. planners. If China controls it, U.S. forces could be blocked from aiding Taiwan or the Philippines. If the U.S. and allies control it, they can contain China's navy in the South China Sea. Batanes, astride the Bashi Channel, is the key to this choke point. The fate of global trade and regional security hinges on these narrow waters. That's why Batanes matters to the world. The stakes are global. The militarization of Batanes is the clearest sign of a renewed U.S.-Philippine alliance. For the Philippines, it's a vital security guarantee and access to advanced technology. For the U.S., it's a cornerstone of Indo-Pacific strategy, providing unmatched geographic access. In a Taiwan conflict, access to Batanes would be essential for U.S. intervention. The partnership goes beyond hardware. Command integration, intelligence sharing, and joint planning ensure effective coordination. U.S. forces on Philippine soil act as a powerful deterrent, raising the stakes for any aggressor. The goal: a porcupine defense, making any attack so costly that it's deterred from the outset. Fortified with missiles, air defenses, and trained forces, Batanes denies China easy control of the seas and skies. The islands are a sharp quill in the region's defense. Unity is the Allies' greatest strength. China is watching Batanes with growing concern and vocal opposition. Beijing sees the U.S. military presence as provocative encirclement, accusing Washington of stoking tensions. The fortified Batanes is viewed as a direct threat to any Chinese operation against Taiwan. Its proximity means U.S. and Philippine forces could launch strikes or gather intelligence, complicating any invasion plan. China has increased its naval and air patrols near the Luzon Strait, leading to tense standoffs. Each side's defensive moves are seen as offensive by the other, fueling escalation. China also uses economic and diplomatic pressure, including trade and disinformation, to sway the Philippines. But these tactics have pushed Manila closer to Washington as Chinese actions alienate the Filipino public. The fortification of Batanes is, in many ways, a direct response to China's own aggression. The cycle of action and reaction continues. The region remains on edge. Batanes has transformed from a quiet province to a critical strategic outpost. It now serves as a sentinel, guarding the peace and stability of the Western Pacific. The military buildup is a calculated move in a high-stakes geopolitical game. Batanes is a cornerstone of U.S. Indo-Pacific strategy and Philippine defense. The joint investment signals unity and resolve, upholding international law and deterring aggression. Filipino and American forces working side by side send a potent message. The Philippines will not stand alone. Batanes offers persistent surveillance and early warning over the Luzon Strait. Its location enables rapid response to contingencies, especially over Taiwan. Long-range weapons on the island create a formidable deterrent. the hope to prevent conflict by making aggression too costly. Batanes stands as a watchpoint and bastion of defense for the Indo-Pacific,